Awesome, thanks Adriana. Well, here is Bo, and Bo is our sulfur-crested cockatoo, and these guys are native to Australia, and they're one of the largest cockatoos that live in Australia. So you might notice his big yellow crest he has on top of his head. He kind of likes to show that off, and you want to wave at everybody? Yeah. Are you a big bird? Yeah, he's gonna show off to you guys. So he's all white, so he kind of looks like a ghost. So he's kind of spooky, you know, sneaking up on you, be white, and you notice that nice big beak he has there too. That beak is very powerful, so they can break through very hard nuts, seeds. And right now I'm feeding him sunflower seeds, so he can break those right apart. So is that right? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Now, neat thing too is he has zygodactyl feet. That's a fun word. So zygodactyl feet just means that he has 2 toes that point straight forward and 2 toes that point straight backwards. So they use those feet to climb around. So they not only use them to climb into tree branches and vines and things that they would have out in the wild, but also they will hold nuts and pieces of food to hold up to their mouth, just kind of how we use our hands. So they're pretty adaptable to all different sources using those feet there. All right, so I did mention that he has a big beak, but he is also very loud. He's a very loud bird, so we're gonna see if he can show that off. All right, Bo, can you whistle? Yeah, he's a very loud bird, so we don't recommend them as pets because they are very loud and they do tear apart everything. So you have a dry row in your house, they're gonna rip that apart, and they're also very loud. It's like having a 3-year-old child for about 60 years. So who wants to name a coaster after Bo here, or sulfur-crested cockatoo? No.
All right. Well, that was really fun to start out with Bo. What do you guys think? Did you like Bo? Yeah. Yeah. That would maybe be a fun animal to name a roller coaster after. I was thinking we're going to bring out another animal, and we're going to see what you guys think about that one there. Oh, here. Bo, I think, is very entertained by all of the movement and everything going around over here. You can see he's got that crest up on his head, which is where they get that name, sulfur-crested cockatoo. But see, what that crest up, it means, it's a way that these birds will communicate with each other. So that crest could mean, whoa, something's going on, I'm very alert, I might be very excited about something. And so he's using that to show off that crest there. I think probably all these roller coasters are pretty interesting to see. This is Bo's first time here at Cedar Point. All right, well, there he goes. All right, so that was Bo, the sulfur-crested cockatoo. Now I'm going to be bringing out this next animal, and we're going to see what you guys think about this one, if we should name a roller coaster after a La Plata armadillo. Isn't he very cool? And I'm going to come around here so you guys can see him a little bit better. His name is Virgil. He's called a La Plata, or a 3-banded armadillo, because he has 3 bands on his backside over here. That helps him open and close up his armor. Now this armor that's covering his body is what protects him from any predators, anything that might try to come after him in the wild. Now this armor is made out of something called keratin. We all have keratin on our bodies. You know what we have on our bodies that's made of keratin? Our fingernails and our hair as well. So this is just very thick layers of keratin that are hardened and able to protect this armadillo. Now there are only about 2 species that are able to completely close into a ball. So you can tell here that Virgil, this is his head right here. His little ears hold up, close in, and then his tail comes to the other side, and it can completely close, kind of like a little puzzle there. So this is a way that then they can feel safe and protected. Now if he does open up a little bit, you might see his long nails that are great for digging. This is going to help him dig out in the wild for lots of little termites and ants and all of those mounds where those insects live. And because they are insectivore, they love to eat all types of insects. So, I don't know, what do you guys think about our armadillo here? Do you think that would be kind of fun? And we're going to have a roller coaster after, okay? I like that applause. All right, let's see.
Well, we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to see a ball python. So we're going to meet a snake. So I like it. I like the charisma out there. So we're going to meet Leo. And Leo here is our ball python. And these guys are native to Africa. Now, as I bring him around, you guys will notice that he has all those scales all over his body. And the ball python, do you guys know what they do out in the wild? do you guys think they're venomous? No, yeah, they're constrictors, so when they eat their food, they're going to catch their food like a mice or a rat, and what they're going to do is wrap their whole body around it and kind of constrict it, and it suffocates it, and then they can swallow it down whole. So they're pretty cool. So they're not venomous snakes, so they're pretty docile. These guys do live on the ground, but they're also, we found, living in the trees, so they are kind of arboreal out there as well. So, and what else do you guys think he might eat? So I mentioned mice and rats and...
Little boys!
Little boys, children, yes, that's right. They will eat children. No, he will not eat children. So they'll primarily eat so small mammals, and also they can eat birds too, especially if they're up in the trees hunting and looking for birds out there. So that's he's looking around. He is very calm, just like I said, so you guys get a good look at him here. And he's about 3 feet long, 3.5 feet long, and he's full grown, so he won't get about any longer. When he's eating, we feed him about 5 mice, so he just gets a little bit heavier, fatter, if you like to say. So he's a pretty cool snake out there. What do you guys think? Make a good roller coaster here? The ball python sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, well, our next animal we're going to bring is also very cool, and that's one of my favorite species of birds of prey. So there are many types of birds of prey. There's hawks, there's eagles, there's owls, and what Adriana is going to bring out here is our vulture. And vultures are... This vulture here is Seconii, and she's a hooded vulture, and she's making her way over here. She might be a little bit nervous because this is a lot of commotion out here, especially all the rides going on, and but she's doing a good job, so she'll make her way over here.
Alright, so here we are coming over with Seconii. I heard Josh mention to all of y'all she was a hooded vulture. Alright, we're going to move nice and slow as Seconii is taking in all the sights of Cedar Point here. Now, these birds are very important to our ecosystem because vultures are known for eating dead things. It's called carrion. That's a lot of those carcasses maybe that you would find out on the road there. Now, that is super important for the environment because a lot of those dead, rotting carcasses may carry diseases like anthrax, botulism, tuberculosis, and vultures have very special stomach acid that is able to kill that spread of that disease. So they are super important for us to know about and want to protect these animals instead of doing things that would hurt them. Now, with her being a hooded vulture, you may be able to see a little bit of these white colored, these light cream color feathers on her head there. Looks a little bit like a hoodie, so that's where they get that name, that hooded vulture. And vultures are often known too for soaring. So if you ever look up in the sky here in Ohio, you'll probably likely see turkey vultures that look kind of similar to Seconii here. But like we said, Seconii is a vulture that's from Africa. All right, she did pretty good out here. This is her first time at Cedar Point, so we're excited for her. But we're gonna head on back while Josh tells us a little bit about the next animal.
All right, thanks, Adriana. What do you guys think of Seconii, the vulture? Yeah, she's pretty cool. So our next one, we're going to meet, some of you might not like, but we're going to meet a Madagascar hissing cockroach. Yeah, they're so cool. Definitely one of our creepy crawlers here, so we're going to bring one out here. Now, these guys are pretty cool. They're very pretty, yep, and they're very fast. So they do run very fast, and they can survive about anything out there. So as I'm walking around, get a good look at them, and you might hear them hiss a little bit. So these guys do communicate with each other, and the way they do that is hissing. So it could mean that they are being territorial with other cockroaches, or just, just being in their area. So they're pretty cool. You can touch them right there in the back. Isn't that cool? Yeah, pretty cool hissing cockroach. So these guys, if you think you could have a roller coaster named after this, it'd be the hissing cockroach. It would be pretty neat. And these guys do play a key role in the forest because they do eat just about everything. So they help decompose a lot of the leaf litter that's on the ground in the rainforest. And how many guys like chocolate and vanilla? Yeah, you like chocolate and vanilla, so these guys do, when they clean up those rainforests, they do help the coffee beans and vanilla beans that makes chocolate and vanilla. So they do play that key role in ecosystems down there, and these guys do multiply very quickly, and they kind of shed their shell. So whenever they shed their shell, their body off, they'll become all white until they can grow it back in. So they're pretty cool. creatures out there. So creepy crawling creatures. So this is definitely one of our creepy crawlers out here.
Right.
So yeah, he's right there on his back. Isn't that cool? Yeah, he's so cool.
All right, you guys back up.
All right. Thank you. All right, Adriana.
All right.
What you bringing out next?
I think we're ready for this next one, and I have the feeling it's going to be a lot of people's favorite animal, because I know he's one of mine. His name is Niles, and he is a fennec fox. All right, so we'll see. Let's learn a little bit about the fennec fox. As you can see, he's got really big ears, so he has fantastic hearing. This fennec fox can hear an insect crawling on the desert sand. That's how amazing their hearing is. Now they're found in Africa, over in the Sahara Desert region. They're going to be living down in dens that they will build underground. They'll dig those dens. They've got lots of fur between their toes that help them to be really great diggers. And they can often connect those dens with other families of foxes. Now those really big ears are not only great for hearing, but they also help to kind of regulate his body temperature. So if it gets a little too hot out there in the desert, he can help to circulate the blood that's in his body up to his ears, and as the wind comes by, it will cool down that blood, and then that blood that's cooled down will go through the rest of his body. So that's a way that he can stay nice and cool out there in the desert. Now, this animal is a nocturnal fox, and one of the smallest, actually the smallest, wild canine species. So if you think about foxes and wolves, this is the smallest fox here. Now Niles weighs about 2.4, 2.5 pounds, and he is full grown. So a lot of people ask if he's a baby, but he is an adult, full-grown fox. So what do you guys think about the fennec fox? Was this a fun animal that maybe having a roller coaster to be named after him would be fun? Yeah? All right, that's pretty fun. Here, we're gonna see what Josh ends up having next. I think you guys are gonna like this guy too.
All right, everybody, this is Everest, and Everest is a Eurasian eagle owl. So Eurasian eagle owls are one of the largest owl species in the world, and they're from Asia. You might get a good look at him, and his big orange eyes. So those eyes are so big, they take up about 2/3 of the space inside of his head. So how many of you grew up hearing the story of the wise old owl? Owls are very smart. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's a myth. So owls aren't the brightest birds out there because those eyes take up all that space, so they have a very tiny brain, but they are adapted to hunt at night. So they're one of, I like to call them ninjas of the sky, because they hunt at night and they can sneak up on their food. Their food never hears them coming. That's because of their silent flight. So they have special feathers on their wings. So if you look, you might see little serrations on the edges of his wing feathers there that allows the air to pass right through. So when he's flapping his wings, the air passes right through and he doesn't make sound from his wings at all. Now, you might see him looking around, turning his head. So his eyes, I mentioned his eyes are so big, they're actually fixated right in his head. So he can't actually move his eyes back and forth like you and I can. So that's why he can turn his head about 270 degrees, so each direction. So if you're looking straight ahead, you look over your left shoulder, you can look over your right shoulder and go the opposite way and look over your left. So they have pretty cool adaptations, and that's because they have 14 vertebrae. So we have 7, giraffe have 7, owls have 14, and that's why they're able to turn their heads so far. So what do you guys think about Everest? Yeah, he's pretty awesome, isn't he?
All right, well, Josh, you know, they've seemed pretty enthusiastic about all these animals we've been bringing out, but we definitely, I think, have saved the best for last, and I think you guys are going to love this next animal. Now, this next animal is quite large, so I'm going to need some help with this animal. So I'm going to pick a couple volunteers to help me out. If you would be interested, I'm going to have you raise your hand. I see a couple interested ones right here. We've got 2. All right, I'm going to have you guys just come stand right in front of the table here. You're good too? Did you want to go too? All right, I'm going to need you in the middle, okay? Because you're going to help be the support for what we're going to be doing. Right in the middle.
Get in the middle.
Get in the middle right here. There you go, perfect. You're good right here where you were. Is anybody else interested? You want to come up and help us too? Okay, I'll have you come up, leave your juice box right there. All right, and then, okay, I think we're good now with volunteers. Now I'm going to have you guys face this way. Everyone face this way here. Now put one hand up in the air. All right, wave to your family and friends. Okay, all jokes aside, I'm gonna have you put both of your hands out in front of you, way out in front of you, and we're gonna be bringing out this animal that's pretty large. So you guys ready? Here she comes. All right, up. Thank you so much. Keep those arms out. We're gonna need help pulling her. Oh, I think we lost a couple too. All right, so this is Shadow. She is a Burmese python and a type of snake that you would find in Southeast Asia and India. Come on this side, buddy. Come over here on this side.
Is that G?
All right. Well, and this type of snake, as you can tell, she's very large. She weighs about 70 pounds, so that's why we need some help with her. Jim, come in here and help us out too. All right. And she's about 14 to 15 feet long, but they can reach up to about 25 feet long and weigh up to 200 pounds. So what do you guys think? Do you think having a roller coaster named after a Burmese python would be pretty good? Yeah? All right.
I think the python's gonna win. The name of the coaster here. It's a unanimous vote here.
That's right, Josh. Well, we want to thank you all again for coming.